And to the latest now on Madiba, eNCA anchor Gareth Edwards is outside the Pretoria Heart Hospital. Good morning, Gareth.
Lorette, good morning to you. Might I add as well, welcome to eNCA from my side. Also a pleasure to be talking to you on your first show with us. We'll talk a little bit about what's happening outside the hospital in a moment. With it, of course, being a Sunday morning, we do like to go through the morning papers. So if you'll allow me to do that, we'll just quickly see what the front pages are talking about. I have 3 or 4 with me. We'll start off with the Sunday Times. They're talking about feuds put curse on Mandela's is their headline story. Elders say family row prevents Mandela from letting go because his soul is not at peace. And as I quickly show you the front page of the Sunday Times, you can also see Barack Obama there with the caption, "No worries, China." So the Sunday Times, of course, talking about Mandela as well as Barack Obama. The Sunday Independent, also a wonderful photo on what is page 14 of this. We picked this one up. This is a construction of a Nelson Mandela memorial that is taking place just outside Howick as well. I hope you can see it. It is a massive structure. It's well over 5 stories tall. And it's, of course, in remembrance of all the hard work that Nelson Mandela has done for South Africa. That is the Sunday Independent this morning. That was page 14. However, we go to the front page of the Sunday Independent and historic UK royal honour for Madiba. Now, Lorette, this is a big story at the moment. The Queen of the United Kingdom has requested a memorial service for ailing former President Nelson Mandela. So that's something new on the Sunday Independent this morning. And we've skipped the front page of the Sunday World. And what we have now is page 2 of the Sunday World. They're talking about Mandela, my hero, one of the well-known quotes, of course, from US President Barack Obama, the US President also urging youth to be inspired by an icon. But also, as you've been reporting this morning, Lorette, Barack's visit elicits mixed views. We're quite well aware of the situation outside the University of Johannesburg, Soweto campus. One of the quotes from the weekend, I think certainly that's going to be spoken about for a long time, is this. Barack Obama yesterday speaking to young African leaders, if I can read it: building the future you see, realizing the vision you have not only for your own country, but for the world. It will not be easy. And Mandela taught us how to do that. So that's the morning papers as far as what they're talking about with Nelson Mandela.
Wonderful comments there. Thanks, Gareth. And tell us now, as Madiba enters his 4th week in hospital, are there still as many well-wishers gathered outside?
Lorette, there are. We were here till late last night, and it was freezing last night, to put it lightly. And getting here early this morning, there were a few people, not as many as you'd expect around about midday or late afternoon, but there were a few people here. And in fact, just behind me, we'll show you him a little bit later, there's a gentleman that has been kneeling in front of one of the images of Nelson Mandela. He has been here not only this morning, I understand he's been here praying overnight in a bright green beanie with a very thick tracksuit pants on, and I'm sure what must be 2 sets of gloves. He has been here overnight, and that is the sort of compassion that people are having for Nelson Mandela at the moment, and that well wishes continuing to come in, especially off the back of that heartwarming news that earlier this week we heard the elder statesman critical, but also stable was the word from government and the presidency as well. So I think that's given a lot of people a lot of hope, and many of them coming out here to continue to show support, not only when the sun is up, but would you believe it, and certainly I do, overnight as well.
That's fantastic, thank you. And you know, Gareth, obviously there's not been any change in Madiba's condition. Is there anything more from the family?
Not as yet, Lorette, no. The last update, of course, that we had heard from the presidency was first on Wednesday, when we were told that the former president was critical. Then on Thursday, as we know, that was told to us to be critical but stable. And in a situation like this, I think many South Africans held onto that as some sort of good news as well. As far as the family is concerned, no real update on Mandela's condition per se. But we have heard from his wife, Graça Michel, who yesterday addressed a number of journalists thanking Barack Obama for the personal phone call that she received from him, and also going on to say that she conveyed those messages to Madiba. As far as the only take that we have on how Mandela is from the family, saying that when they told him that President Obama was coming to South Africa, he opened his eyes and he smiled. But as far as official and as far as the family coming out with another update, just like the rest of South Africa, we wait and hope.
Thank you very much for that report. That was eNCA anchor Gareth Edwards.
News that moves. eNCA.com.